a stream. There we go. There's the prairie banana. You guys wondering about the prairie banana? I was talking to Chris, which is Siggy, yesterday. He's like, "Where'd you get your name?" I didn't go into the details. If you guys want to know, you can let me know. He's like, "I think there really is such a thing as a prairie banana." Sure enough, there is. And like in the Southeast United States, there's a plant that smells like banana or some crazy thing like that. So kind of hoping somebody shows up, but I've never done a live stream on Saturday morning at this time. So it could be interesting. Maybe no one will show up, which would be a first. There's usually at least like one person. And so you guys might have to catch the, but you know, a lot of people catch the rerun, and that's cool. And my whole thing here is my whole intention is to, can I be selfish? My whole intention is to get you guys acclimated to the Icosa system so that you are a wise investor and you you know, make this and you're a benefit to the system, if you know what I mean, in a monetary way and otherwise. And I enjoy helping people. Yeah, so I am going to try to keep this going. I've got my presentation ready. It's the same presentation. Let me just back up. Today is Saturday, May 20th, and we're going to go over some of the prices here real quick. But we'll get into the deck screener, and I'll show you that because we just forked the network like just over 7 days ago. Richard Hart forked Ethereum, and we now have Pulse Chain, and that has been quite a ride. If you've been following along or been participating, it's pretty exciting. Okay, back up a little more. So I was visiting with Chris. His name is Chris, but his handle on Telegram is Siggy Hex Dust, and he's one of my buddies. And he's like, "Hey, Eric." Okay, my name's Eric. He says we can help. We need to help you with your studio because it's lacking. Okay, so just so you know, this is my office. It was made. We bought the house, and the guy used it as a wood shop. So it's all finished. It has nice cupboards, not cupboards over there, but shelving. The floor is concrete. I have a bench over here. I love it. It's like my man cave. But yeah, the walls are particle board, whatever. But he's like, your studio's lacking. Maybe you put a sheet up, so maybe we'll do that. But mainly, I think the lighting is an issue. So I've got 2 skylights. You can see the light coming in. It's morning time. The skylights provide quite a bit of light, but I guess I need to have more light on me. Okay, fine. We'll probably get some lighting for that. So thank you, Siggy Hex Dust. And he has a lot of experience in that. And perhaps we'll do like an intro or something like that at some point. But we might be taking the channel on a little turn here again for benefit. I'm thinking about, and this, I did not think about this initially when I started the channel. I just wanted to bring people in and help them get acclimated to Icosa. But I'm thinking about, because I'm a licensed real estate agent, I have some experience in, a limited experience in the commercial real estate world, but I have an intention to create wealth in crypto, rotate that wealth into real estate and preserve it there. So, and I know that there is a disruption, that what we are doing in crypto is going to disrupt the real estate industry. That's coming. Blockchain is going to disrupt practically everything. And I've known this. So I'm like, well, why couldn't we? Because I want to invest in real estate with my crypto gains. Why couldn't I bring along some of my friends? I know Siggy is interested, And I know, and there are others. And if you guys don't watch Crypto Millionaire Investors, the two guys, Corey and Danes, they do a show practically every day. They're great. They're new. They're about the top, like many of us, myself included. And they are real estate guys. And I'm trying to get a hold of them. But this is my vision. Before I get into my presentation, my vision is to like take the channel to a next level, and actually do like interviews of crypto people that are interested in real estate. Like I know Sloth wants to come on, which is going to be awesome. So he's the first one. I was like, wow, I can actually do interviews. He's serious. He wanted to come on the channel. Nice. So, and you know, I'm sure many other people I could get on, like Maxim Broadcast. I have a hunch that he would jump on. He's already a real estate investor. But I also know people on the real estate side. I know one gentleman in particular that he's not a Hexagon, but he created a token that's, you can look him up. It's called Quest Token. So what he does is, and he's in the very, not initial stages, but he's bootstrapping this business whereby you tokenize real estate. So like my house, let's say it's worth $100,000. Well, you can literally, I don't know all the details, but literally you could like sell your house. You get all the monetary value out of your house and in your bank, and then you tokenize it. Your name is still on the deed. The only way they can foreclose on it is, I forget. I don't recall. That's why we need to have them on. But literally, people can buy a token of real estate for $5. So real estate's going to be, it's going to be completely disrupted. Transactions are going to go so much faster. It's all going to be on the blockchain. Can you imagine, on smart contracts? It's going to be incredible. So, and I know other people in the real estate industry, and a lot of these guys have money. So if we can, interview real estate investors, introduce them to crypto, not only can they front run this disruption, they could also, buy Icosa, and we can be a benefit to them that way. So, and I'm going to have this conversation with my business partner next week, hopefully next week. We're going to have a meeting, and she doesn't know about this. She knows I'm streaming, but she doesn't know what the stream name is. But we're going to have this conversation, and what I would like to do, and she's more involved in real estate than myself, and she would bring a lot to the table. So it could be two people, myself and her, Stephanie. I think I can let her name out. Myself and Stephanie. And we would just interview people and try to merge these two industries, crypto and real estate. So I think that's coming. I think it's a home run. Why? Again, because I want to invest. Many of you guys perhaps want to invest. Well, let's learn together how to do this. And perhaps we can like front run some industry shakeup and like save ourselves some headache. All right. Enough chat. Take a quick swig, and then we'll get into Icosa and Hedron. I would love for some people to jump in. I know some people are going to be watching, so I'll try to, because the reason I like people to jump in is they can ask questions, and then it's helpful for me to know where you are coming from as an investor. Are you brand new? Well, this is mainly for brand new people. But when you ask questions, it helps me understand, because I can speak. I am not advanced. I am not even qualified to be doing this. I'm going to tell you, but like when people, but I'm horrible at explaining things, and then I may not be explaining it at the level that you need, which is why I love the questions. If you have questions, pop them in the comment down below. Happy to help. And there are links to the Telegram group, and you can always ask your questions in there. 22 minutes, man. The first 15 minutes needs to just be erased. Okay, guys. All right, let's go, man. Let's go. I hooked up my wallet. All right, let's talk about security first, because it ain't no good to make a bunch of money in crypto and lose it. So get yourself a wallet, a hardware wallet. All it does is it stores your seed phrase. That's it. And you need to have your seed phrase backed up. I back mine up on stainless steel, and I always intend to show you like a stainless steel plate. Show stainless steel. They're about that big. I use an engraver and I engrave my seed phrase, and I have 2. And I keep them in a safe place. And I just recently learned about passphrases. And that's something I'm a big advocate now of passphrases. It took me a while to get over my own hesitation about making that 25th word, but it makes perfect sense. And it also took me a while for me to figure out how to secure that. And perhaps we could talk about that without letting you guys, the whole world know how I'm securing my crypto. But I have a list of other videos that I'd like to do, and that should be added to it. How I'm doing so you need to have a hardware wallet. Beware of scammers in the Telegram chat and perhaps on Twitter. If you get a message from Alex and it doesn't have a blue check, that is a scammer. I recommend multiple wallets. Why do I have this here? I don't know. Engraver seed phrase. Yeah, that's basic. And then during this upheaval time of Pulse Chain and all that, I'm sure the scammers are out of the woodwork, and just be wary. Don't click on things that are unfamiliar or might be suspicious. And actually, I am going to, if you remind me, how are you going to remind me? Nobody's there. I want to show you guys a site that, just go to Dip Capture's partner. What is his name? He has a website with all these links for Pulse and Ethereum and all this stuff about the new network. Okay, and you guys got to go there, and I would click off of those links. Pulse Chain Hub, there it is. Pulse Chain Hub. I'm going to copy this and paste it into my presentation sheet tab. Okay. So I would use that and just bounce off of those sites. It's beneficial also to have like a dedicated laptop, which I don't. I did at one time, but I got rid of it. It wasn't a Mac, and so I recommend Macs. They're more secure, like 99% more secure, says RH Max, and I believe him. All right, we're going to talk about Hex just briefly. Hex is the granddad of this system. So we have Hex, Icosa, and Hedron. The Hex is the first on-chain blockchain certificate of deposit. So you buy Hex, let's say you buy 1,000 Hex, and you stake it. When you stake it, it's burnt out of the system, which depletes the supply. It's burnt out of the system, and in its place, you mint a T-share. And your T-share earns you Hex every day. So one T-share right now is earning about, I think, 6.2 Hex per day, roughly. So that's Hex. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it, but we are going to talk about HSIs. So when you do stake your Hex, you have an option to stake it as an HSI or do a native stake. All of my stakes currently are native stakes because they were all created before Alex created Hedron. An HSI stake is simply a Hex stake wrapped in Hedron. There is nothing different about the Hex stake. As a matter of fact, you can still end it as a native Hex stake. But if it's wrapped in Hedron, it has some very beneficial properties. Okay, let me back up. When you stake a T share of Hex, you get 5,555,000 headroom for free, and you earn it every single day. So as on day one, you'll earn, I think it's 1,000. If you did a 5,555, so you'd earn 1,000 headroom per day. And let's get into those HSIs. So what are some benefits of HSIs? Nobody is here. This is the first time ever. Confession. I don't post this on Twitter or Telegram because I'm so nervous. Yeah. But I will eventually. I kind of want to up my game, you know. Benefits of HSIs. They're portable. You can tokenize them, which means they'll have their own address, and then you could send those HSIs to any wallet. You can send it to a friend. You can send it to a more secure wallet if that's what you need to do. So like all of my native stakes are more susceptible to being hacked. I would like to have that portability. I don't. So they're portable, which makes them more secure. You could use them as collateral. You could literally send them to a lender, say, hold this while I take this advance on this HSI, if that's the way to put it. And then once I pay it back, I get my HSI back, and they just, boom, send it back. And that can all be done through a smart contract, by the way. You can also sell those HSIs on OpenSea or hexmarket.com. And Alex is working on a marketplace where we can sell those HSIs and WATSAs, and the currency will be Icosa. That's going to be really nice. Also with an HSI, you earn 1,000 headroom per day on a native stake, but with an HSI, you can actually, with an HSI, you can actually advance all of the headroom, and then you can do things with that headroom, and we'll get into that. Oh, it's right here. So you can advance all the headroom, stake that headroom, and earn headroom, and stake that headroom and earn Icosa. Then you can stake the Icosa and earn Icosa and headroom. So it's like a layering loop, and it builds up. So you can tokenize it. You can tokenize an HSI and send it to the Icosa contract for Icosa. And you need to know that if you make an HSI, if you make it a full max length Cuatro Cinco stake, you get 10% extra Icosa if it's sent to the Icosa contract. So it's basically, HSIs are basically a financial NFT earning you Hex every single day. And by the way, the auctions, the Icosa liquidation auctions, those are all HSIs. And many of them have quite a bit of Hex already built up because they're a year or more old. So bear with me a second. Oh yeah, so a lot of people have been holding their HSIs because like the price of Icosa has been low. When the price of Icosa is low, then it's not as beneficial to send an HSI to the contract. It's more beneficial just to buy the Icosa. So when the Icosa price recovers and becomes closer to that parity point, the price ceiling, if you want to call it that, I think that some of the people, at least some of the people that are holding those HSIs, are going to send those HSIs to be liquidated, which benefits all of the Icosa stakers. So yeah, they're not being sent right now. That's because people are buying Icosa. But they'll go. All right, let's talk about Icosa. Icosa's total supply, is increasing logarithmically, but it will eventually become deflationary. That's why I'm so excited about Icosa and about like compounding yield and getting more Icosa, because we're going through a time of inflation. And now is the time to get your Icosa. Eventually, that Icosa is going to become rare. Icosa has the T-share in it twice. Oh, did I talk about the T-share? All right. Yeah. You get one T-share per Hex Stake, max stake T-share. So, and the T-share, I didn't mention, the T-share rate goes up. As people end their Hex stakes, that T-share rate ratchets up. You know, I want to share my screen. Let's present. Let's show you guys some stuff. Share a screen. Let's look at the Hex Daily Stats, man. I'm loving this. Look at this, guys. Gas prices, 32 Gwei. Woo! That's good, man. That was brutal for the last few weeks, man. It was just awful. Okay, here's your Hex Daily Stats. I love this site. I have it bookmarked. So here is your payout. The payout has been nuts, man. Nearly 7. Let's show some more rows. 15 ought to do it. Okay, we were talking about the T-share rate. Payout per T-share is 6.5. Here's today's date, and you can sort these columns. It's pretty interesting to sort them and see how they, like where Hex came from. All right, here's the T-share rate. T-share price. Oh, guys were picking up T-shares yesterday for $100. They're getting a 10x value, man. All right, so see how this T-share rate goes up every single day? Well, that means that if you staked yesterday, you're not going to get as much. I mean, you're going to get more. You're going to get more value out of that stake than if you stake today, right? That's just how it works. So, and the Icosa has the T-share in it 2 times. It has it in the buyback feature. So when you send an HSI to contract, it advances all of the headroom from that HSI, sends that headroom to the headroom stakers. And then the Icosa that you would get is I want to say it's the headroom divided by the T-share rate. I think it's the advanceable headroom divided by the T-share rate. So as that T-share rate goes up, if you can picture it, let's say 5,555,000 headroom is advanceable, and the T-share rate last week was 26,000. This week is 27,000. Well, last week 26,000 goes more times into 5,555,000, so you would get more Icosa. This week you're not going to get as much Icosa. So that T-share is in there twice. It's in the buyback feature and the staking points that you earn for staking it. Because your principal divided by the share rate equals your stake points. And we will show that on the dApp. And I should actually do that. Let's show the screen again. I'm really surprised that like no one is in here. It's okay, I guess. Just here talking to myself. I'm gonna log into my Aurox wallet. If you guys don't have the Aurox wallet, I recommend it. I love mine. I love it. Let's show my screen. I don't want to connect. I don't want to do that. I want to show my present. Come on, baby. Share screen. I want to get good at this. Okay. Yeah, man. Aurox wallet. Show me what's in your wallet. Well, let's go to Yeah, these are all my wallets. I did a bunch of 90-day stakes. So they're the little tiny stakes. Nothing to get excited about, right? I'm looking for Jackie. There she is. Okay, I'm going to connect her wallet to the site. Just bear with me as I log into, this is an onboard of mine. I use her wallet. Less doxing of the Prairie Banana. What is this? Yes. Okay. Okay. So you see this is the Aurox Wallet. I want to click on MetaMask. I really hope this works for me. This should work for me. Sometimes the app.icosa.pro site, dApp, is laggy a little bit. Oh, I got to do this. Let's do that. You know what? This did this to me the other day. This really is not making me very happy. Let's see if I can connect another wallet. I just connected this morning. You guys can't see what I'm going through over here. What I'm going through. Oh, just kidding. Why is that? I don't want to take a bunch of you guys' time. This is hilarious, man. I'm going to show you guys something. And I wonder if I can do it right here. I'm on the dApp. Okay. Let's go to the dApp. I'm on the dApp and I'm trying to connect my wallet and it's not connecting. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that. Okay. Moving on. Stop screen. Okay. Icosa doesn't have max staking length like Hex does. So you can stake your Hex for 5,555. Icosa, it's all dependent on how much you're staking. So if you're going to stake 400, it's probably going to be a 90-day stake. You're going to stake 4,000, it's going to be 180-day stake, and so on, all the way up to 360. It's 30, 90, 180, 270, 360. Those are the links. And what you can do is in your wallet, when you're ready to stake, if you want to stake shorter, which I recommend, because then as you earn yield, that yield is in there sitting doing nothing, and you kind of want to put it to work. So if you stake shorter, and you got to bear in mind your fees for transactions, but if you stake shorter, 90 days is probably the sweet spot, 180 for some people, then you can compound, which I'm a huge advocate of it. You can only make one stake per wallet, thus you saw all of my wallets, but you can make as many stakes as you're comfortable making. You don't have to end your stake, but you pay a graduated penalty for EESing. So if your stake is 25% complete and you want to end that stake, you're gonna lose 75% of your principal and your yield. I've done it. I did it once. I don't know that I'll ever do it again. I didn't lose much, 7%, and but I made most of it back. I need to wrap up. I need to do the wrap up video on that one. So the EES penalties, 50% is burned and 50% is put into the Icosa pool and distributed to all three pools. So when people emergency end stake, it goes to the other stakers. And let's see, stake points. So, which I wasn't able to show you in the wallet. Okay, let me just read this. Stake points determine your share of the pool, which determines your yield. Your pool share will go down as other people enter the pool, but your stake points remain the same. If you have a stake ending, this is a big deal right here. Listen, if you have a stake ending and are deciding whether to actually end it or not, which you don't have to end an Icosa or a Headroom stake, you can just let them go on into perpetuity. But if you're deciding whether to end it or not, I'm just going to read. Add your yield plus your principal, divide by the current share rate, which you can find in Hex Daily Stats. And if your stake points go up, then if you did that and compounded, then you will earn more Icosa, applies to Hedron too, per day. Does that make sense? Add your yield plus your principal divided by the share rate. And if your stake points goes up, then it makes sense to end your stake. Okay, just a second here. What you can do is you can add, unlike a Hex stake, you can add to an Icosa or a Hedron stake. And if you add to it, it just resets the clock. That's it. And it doesn't affect the share rate that you got on the original stake. Okay. Because when you do stake Icosa, it gives you yield based on the share rate of that day, the day that you staked it. Okay. That's why getting in earlier in Icosa and Hedron is also advantageous, because it's all that share rate, which goes up every single day. So when's the best day to say? When's the best day to stake? It's always yesterday. It's always yesterday. There are instances where you could reduce your stake days. So if you keep one in your wallet, one Icosa or one Hedron, then you can add a fraction of that if the supply changes, and then you can like reduce, and I did it one time, you can reduce your stake length and be a benefit that way. So Icosa yield is the daily burned Hedron divided by the share rate, and it goes to all three pools. Daily burned Hedron divided by the share rate. So these liquidation auctions that are happening every single day, what happens is the liquidations, you can only use Hedron to liquidate, and that Hedron is burned, and that's where we get the yield that goes to the Icosa stakers. And it also goes to the Hedron stakers and the Watson. You can consider laddering your Icosa stakes. I have not really seen any benefit in doing that. I am a yield hound, man. And so I am compounding and earning yield as feverishly fast as I can. So I have no intention of letting my person, none of this is financial advice, but I have no intention of letting my stakes just continue on and on, because imagine having, like, you start with 100 Icosa, and over a course of time you have 10 Icosa in yield, and more time elapses, and suddenly you have 500 Icosa in yield on this 100 Icosa stake. Why wouldn't you just add that yield to your principal? Just do the math, divide by the share rate, and like earn more. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. But there are some smarter people that have arguments otherwise, and those should be listened to and taken into account as well. But laddering has been a topic of discussion in this community. You can make 90-day stakes ending every month over the course of a year, doing whatever you want to with the yield and staking the principal. Does that make sense? I mean, it's not a bad idea. Where does the yield come from? Daily burned Hedron divided by the share rate. We just talked about it. Burned Hedron can come from Hedron burned to liquidate HSIs, HSI advance repayments, or from users burning Hedron through the proof of benevolence function, which has happened twice. And we are benefiting from that right now because the pools are being seeded with Icosa that came from burned Hedron from somebody that burned a bunch of Hedron. So like, I think about 5% of the yield coming to the pools is from seeded liquidity. How do you get Icosa? Well, you can buy it on Uniswap or Matcha. You can send an HSI to the contract. Just check the exchange rate. And what you do is you go to Sloth's site. So here's my chance to show you guys another presentation and practice. Sharing a screen. Oh, let's go to I think it's Good HSI Deals. No, that's for the liquidations. I think this is it. So you have an HSI in your wallet. Paste the address in. It's going to calculate how much mintable Icosa. And I think it also tells you whether it's a good deal or not. So recommend this site. Sloth built it. It's good. Okay. So you can send an HSI to the contract. But right now, Icosa is like, hey, let's look at this. I told you guys we were going to look at the deck screener. Pause. Let's just go right here. All right, let's have a little side trip. I don't have Pulse in here. I don't have Pulse in here because I haven't got that far yet. Hey, you guys aren't seeing my screen. Give me just a second. Stop screen, present, share screen. I want to share an entire screen. There we go. Boom. Okay, let's look at this. And what you can do is, I figured this out, you can sort by just clicking that thing right there. Bitcoin's 27, ETH's at 18, Hedron, and this is on the Pulse network. Ooh, we got the new symbols, yay. Ha, good. P Hedron is 501, and look how we have, what do you call it? Where they're the same price. But the Pulse side is, in the last 24 hours, increased by 50%. So that's probably gonna, I mean, do you think it'll slow down? I don't know, man. And there's other stuff over here. What do you call it when it's equilibrium? Hex on Pulse is now almost 3 cents, and Hex on Ethereum is almost 4 cents. Wow, it has recovered a lot. I'm really liking it, man. Icosa, this is why we're here today. It's on sale. I saw it at like 17 cents, man. Oh, I have bought $1.50 Icosa. A lot of $1.50 Icosa. So, and we're catching up. Ooh, look, the Pulse side exceeded the Ethereum side. Interesting. Ink is now $32, and we'll skip the Pepe. I have just a fuzz of that. Pulse X is up 26%. It is not at the SAC price yet, but it's about 0.3 of a click there from SAC price. And then, yeah, that's about it, man. Cool. Sweet. So Icosa is like 4x below the ceiling, so it's more profitable to just market buy the Icosa. When you send an HSI to the contract, immediately it takes an advance on all of the Hedron, sends that Hedron to the Hedron staking pool, and sends you the Icosa. It shows up. I did it a bunch of times on day one, and of Icosa, and it sends you the Icosa. It just shows up incredibly in your wallet. Don't you love crypto? It's amazing. The HSI will then go into default for non-payment after 90 days, and it's available for auction. Available for auction. It's so cool how everything is automated, right? And then what you can do is, let's see, stake to Hedron. Why is that in there? That doesn't make sense. All right, let's talk about Hedron. All right, we're pretty much done because everything applied to Icosa applies to Hedron. Makes it simple, right? Yield in this pool is the daily advanced Hedron from HSIs. The price is now, it's more than 47 times below the ceiling. That just means more will be burnt, which will increase its rarity. Hedron is being burnt every day, increasing its rarity, which will increase the price over time. I am not getting rid of any of my Hedron. I'm holding on to that stuff because I have hopes for it in the future. The same staking and staking pool share principles that apply to Icosa also apply to Hedron. Where does the yield come from? HSIs, the daily advanced Hedron divided by the share rate. That's the formula. The daily advanced Hedron divided by the share rate. Wats's, we're almost done, guys. Wats's word. Notice the past tense. A 14-day opportunity to buy financial NFTs at the beginning of Icosa. is now closed. The Watsa pool gets a copy of the Icosa that goes to the Icosa and Hedron pool. It's like a game of chicken. A Watsa is an NFT that can be exchanged for the inherent Icosa at any time. But when exchanged, that Watsa is burnt and everyone else's share of the pool increases. So basically, a Watsa earns Icosa. You can buy them on OpenSea or Hex Market, and you're going to pay a little more than what we did initially. But Watsas that are burnt can never, there will never be more Watsas created ever. So if you hold a Watsa, you have something precious. You have something unique, and they're being burned every single day unlike both networks. People are burning their Watsas. What do they get? They get the Icosa, and then they can maybe stake the Icosa, but they can't get the Watsa back. And then remember that pool share that I showed you? Same thing applies for the Watsas, but as like in the Icosa and Hedron pool, will get diluted over time because people are coming into the system. Nobody's coming into the Watsa pool. So what happens? Your pool share actually increases versus the other two assets. Watsa pool share increases, which is really, really cool. There is a Telegram group. Look in the notes down below the video for the everything Watsa. And if you're thinking about buying one, it might be a smart move. And just ask those guys for good prices. Like, what should you pay? I don't know. Ask them. Where does the yield come from? Daily burn Hedron divided by the share rate. Same as the Icosa pool. So remember I told you, we're done with Watson. Remember I told you there was some seeded liquidity? Well, 42,000 Icosa is going to the pools every single day, but that ends August 10th. It's nice to know about that. And then there's another wave that's ending in November, but I think that's only like 10,000 Icosa a day. I don't have it in my notes here. Auctions. Let's show. There's a new share screen, entire screen. I like it. I wish there were a faster way to do this though. I listen to lots of streams and I kind of watch them too, but I like the way they are able to click around so fast. At least it seems so fast to me. Okay, this is a great site. And let's go over some of the things here. Auctions. Good HSI deals. So if you want to look at the 6 HSIs that are being bid on right now and get an idea, what it's, if you wanted to bid on them, the value of this bid is $324. The value of the underlying Icosa is $184, but the cost to make this stake is $1,122. Wow, man. So good deal relative to mintable Icosa? No. Relative to the Hex? Yes. Yeah, this is good stuff, man. And another thing you can do here, yeah, this one is not as much a good deal, is it? One thing you can do here is you can click on the address of the guy that has the highest bid, and you can see how much Hedron he has in his wallet and see kind of what you're competing against. And again, only Hedron is used to liquidate these HSIs. These auctions run for, so they're stripped of their Hedron. This goes to the stakers. They wait in a queue for 90 days. No payment is going to be made. So then they go to be liquidated. And somebody has to start that liquidation, which I'm not able to show you because I couldn't connect for some reason to my wallet. Somebody starts that liquidation, which would be the initial bidder. The initial bid is the amount of advanceable Hedron, which is usually not very much, which is cool. And it runs. So if let's say you bid, you started an auction with the minimum bid, It'll be sitting there waiting for other people to outbid you for 24 hours. If in the last 5 minutes someone outbids you, then the auction is extended for 5 more minutes, and that will go on probably forever until it's until somebody wins. There were at least thousands of HSIs waiting to go. The bigger ones go the fastest. Like you get some 50 T-share HSIs in the queue, and those are going to be the first ones to go, because people have a strong desire to get those big ones. There are a ton of little ones. I want to say that there's like some 1 Hex Stakes waiting in the queue, or some crazy number. It might be 10. Use caution in bidding. We've seen people add an extra 0. And dude, if you're planning to bid a billion and you add an extra 0, that's 10 billion, man. So be very, very careful. One of the things you can do is copy the previous bid and paste it and make your bid based on that. If you win an auction, the HSI is immediately sent to your wallet. And if you lose an auction, your headroom is returned to your wallet. There is another good website I'm going to show to you. HSI Auction Home. This one is good for liquidations. And there's another one too, and I don't have it pulled up, but the link should be down below in the description. Okay, here's some old information about the fork that we already experienced. Let me show this to you guys. Cryptographics wrote a book. Here it is, Crypto Investing Practical Handbook. I recommend it. It talks extensively about Icosa and Hex and Hedron. And actually, I want to incorporate a lot of this material into my presentation. And I want to do slides too. So that should be coming. I just have very little time this time of year. So Amazon, it's like 20 bucks. Buy it, read it, rate it on Amazon. Of course, give it a great rating. It's excellent. Let me show you some of the how he does it. He has pictures, and there's a little glitchy right there. And he wouldn't mind if I showed you. Oh, there's more pictures. But a lot of this it's in bullet format, you see? So, because that crypto is, I mean, it's crypto. So it's just information. It's not like a novel. So excellent book. You can find it downloadable. Just go to his YouTube channel. He did a video on it, on the book. And there's a link to where you can go find the book and print it, or just read it on the computer. Okay. If you want one-on-one coaching, you can see Cryptographics. Crypto Sloth also does some consulting. I recommend both of those guys. They're my buddies. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Buying a position. All right, here's some food for thought. We're at an hour, so we need to wrap this up in like 10 minutes because these almost always go for an hour and 10 minutes. So, food for thought. There are leagues in crypto, and the leagues are based on how much of the asset that you hold as a percent. If you were, let's take the dolphin category. If you were to try to buy a dolphin position in Hex, which is 0.01% of the T-shares is a dolphin position, unless I'm mistaken. 0.01 T-shares, it's going to cost you $2,155,419 to become a Hex dolphin. To become a Hedron dolphin, 0.01% of the supply, it would cost you $29,188. To become an Icosa dolphin, $2,583. You can literally buy a squid. You can buy a squid, which is the next level down. Oh, the leagues are whale, the big guys, whale, shark, dolphin, squid, turtle. You can buy a squid position in Icosa for 258 bucks. So, food for thought. Here's another food for thought. I like to look at my crypto as not what it's valued, although I do look at that, but more so, how many of these do I have? I am focused on token accumulation. I could almost care less about the price. I am after tokens. And Icosa being a very inflationary, inflationary now, I'm getting as much as I can because it's going to be deflationary eventually. All right, is there anything else? I think let me show you some of let me share screen. It's a good time to practice. I want to show you some of this stuff here. I showed you Sloth's site. If you don't use Etherscan, I recommend it. You can pop in your address, and sometimes I use it to like verify that a transaction has gone through. And here's another one, Hex model. Oh boy, they don't want to overlook Hex model. Guys, this is for Icosicans. For Icosicans, you've got to use Hex model. All right, let me go back to the home. So you get the Hex price, the T-share rate. Yeah, excuse me, guys. I'm not gonna make you watch me scratch my ear. The Icosa and Hedron price, and the arbitrage point, like the Icosa ceiling, Hedron ceiling. So that Icosa ceiling price is just the most anybody would pay for Icosa before they'd send an HSI to be liquidated and just get Icosa that way. And then the buyback. There's the buyback. That's kind of what I was looking for earlier. So right now, if you send a 5555 to the buyback, you'd get 224 Icosa. And you can thank Dev Huey for building us this site. I guess it's a little, okay, here's just a calculator. And then the buyback, you can calculate if you have a certain HSI you want to figure out. And then Icosa, this is really cool. The Icosa site takes just a minute to load. Really, nobody showed up, man. Didn't promote it very much. Maybe Saturday's not the day to stream. Icosa staking. There's one other tab after this one I want to show you guys. Come on, Hex model. There we go. Here's your Icosa staking. And here's all your stakers, and you can find your address in here. Pretty cool. All right, let's go to HSI auctions because that's he's going to have this broken down into Pulse also, I'm sure, at some point. I don't know how he's going to do that, but okay, check this out. Here's where we are on May, whatever. What day is today? It's the 20th. So we have, in that 60.8 is 60.8 T-shares that are going to liquidations today. Okay. And then tomorrow, 357. So I got a couple stakes I need to end and restart like tomorrow morning. Cracking my knuckles because I'm like thinking about it. So yeah, and then there's some other big days, 500 T-shares on June 7th and so on. So dude, there is some juicy stuff coming. Juicy. Getting exciting, man. There was a big day back here where we had 5,000 T-shares. That's what I emergency end staked for. Okay. That's Hex model. Stakehex.today. I love this site. You can pop in your wallet address that has your Hex stakes on it, and you can see your current stakes. Very, very beautifully organized. Deck screener, we saw that. Can I show you guys just a little bit about DEX Screener? Let's go to Icosa. Let's go to Icosa on the Pulse side. So what you do is you go, and I'm not real great at finding these pairs and which one, but you basically go Hex Icosa, and then you click on it. And what I do is I star it, but you can click on it, okay? And then if you want to create a watch list, just add it to your watch list. And then what you can do is I like to watch the daily chart, but this is pretty good. This is on the 4 hour right now. And look how things are creeping up. Yeah, man, recovery. I like it. Maybe this isn't the pair to be watching because I don't see. Oh, this is Pulse. Yes. Okay. So that's how you do it, man. Make yourself a little watch list. And then you can sort it. And I'm sure there is a ton more that you can do with this. I just don't have, I don't know how to use it that much. I just like to watch the different tokens. Hex Daily Stats shows you GUI. Look at all this stuff. It shows you the Hex price, T-share, rate, payout per T-share for today. This is the new one that hasn't been posted down below yet. All the penalties. Yeah, we're at 6.5 Hex per T-share. Wow, this is wonderful. Gas price on both chains. Hex Fire, hexfire.io. Thank you, Crispy. If you want to see where the T-share rate's going, this is where we are right now at 27,000. And he knows this. We know this because we know how many stakes are going to be maturing during this time and how it's going to affect the T-share rate. So by the end of this year, look at these big. So if you're thinking about staking, why would you stake here? Why would you stake here if you could stake here? Why stake on November 25th when you could do it on the 21st, right before that big share rate jump from 30.5 to 31.9. Oh my soul, man. That's a 1,000-point jump coming in November, bro. Hexfire, and there's a ton of other stuff on this site. Use it, bookmark it. Thank Crispy. I mainly use it for this right here. Oh, this is good for you guys to know. When you're staking, if you want to know how long you can stake for. Wow, the total supply. The total supply is 80. Total liquid supply. So total supply is this total supply is the liquid supply. This is Icosa sitting in people's wallets. It's 80 million. Just a few weeks ago, it was 40 million. So I can double my stakes. My 90-day stakes can be fatter, if you will, which is great because it saves me on fees. And there's another supply, which is this right here, 460 million. So most Icosa is staked. There's either scan again, got it in there twice. I'm not going to get into that. That's some moon math that I was doing. I guess we could do that. Yeah. So here's your, if you see right here, with Hex at 7 cents, the Icosa ceiling price is $3.10. And the floor price, I call it floor price, but that's really not a very good term. It would be like a floor price is where it is right now. That's the floor. So this would need to be adjusted. But then as the price of Hex goes up at 50 cents, the most Icosa would be around 23 cents. I mean, $23. And then the floor, 4.59. But that's based on this floor. And we've seen it again. We saw it at 17 cents when we forked. So, yeah. Here is that Pulse Chain Hub that I told you about. And it has a lot of information in here. Explainer videos. the different dApps. Faucet. I have not been able to get any pulse from the faucet. Price charts. Ooh. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. That's good because I can update mine based on this. Okay. Well, guys, it has been an interesting time streaming for you today because nobody showed up. It's so much, it's a lot more fun when people show. And I'm not being critical by any means. This is the first one that I did on a Saturday, and it's the first one where nobody came. And it's okay, because I know people are going to watch this. If it helped you, give this video a thumbs up to increase the algorithm, to increase the exposure, to increase people coming into our system and getting help. If you have any questions, post them down below. Consider subscribing and making a comment, again, for the algo, for your benefit and mine. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Join us in the Telegram. It can get fun in there. See you later. Bye.